See the game more clearly with high-definition spectacle lenses from Norville Opticians.
Nick, there was a lot of reaction on social media about the game at Northampton. Some of it was balanced, some of it was quite passionate. But there is a concern, I think, among the supporters about the table. Are you concerned about the table?
No, not at all at this moment in time. We're only 5 games in, and you know, if you look at the season so far, you know, we only just lost to Saracens, and you look at if we had beaten Saracens, you know, in the last couple of minutes they get a kick. You know, we're mid-table, and it's really, really tight. I know there is frustration, and there's frustration with us. You know, we don't want to be where we are on the table, but we're not worried at this stage because there's still 17 league matches to go. We do feel we're making progress, and the game at Northampton was extremely frustrating. But if you just look at sort of where the game was won and lost, there was one area probably, you know, the scrum that they got sort of most of their points from. And again, looking at the scrum area on that day, it was more down to interpretation and I think a dominance. So yeah, it's frustrating, but you know, we're staying really positive and working really hard, and you know, we're sure that things will come good and we'll start moving back up. You know, a couple of wins on the bounce, and suddenly you move up 5-6 places.
I was going to say that, and you might not know, but it's 3 years since Gloucester have won more than 2 Premiership games on the bounce. So there's always seems to be a banana skin around the corner.
Well, yeah. Well, obviously I didn't know that. So, but we're just really focusing on Friday to get a really good performance. You know, we're doing some good stuff, and then yeah, we're doing some poor stuff at times, and so yeah, we're just focused on getting a really good performance against Sale on Friday, and getting a good performance at home, and getting the crowd behind us and cheering, and getting some real sort of buzz and confidence into the team.
Given the pre-season was long, you used the word frustration earlier, has that been the niggle, that it's taking a while to get it right?
I'm not sure really, because the pre-season, it does give you time to try and get prepared and everything, but you know, us, like other teams, you know, you have disruptions with the World Cup and everything, but we did have time to get stuff, to work on stuff that we wanted to. It does feel it was such a long time, and you know, after you played those 4 warm-up games, and you know, we've already played over 10 games this season already, and it's so I just think, look, for whatever reason, it's not quite clicking at the moment. But as I said, we're working really hard to make sure it does, and you know, we just want to make an improvement on Friday. And a lot of stuff we did against Northampton at the weekend, you know, we dominated in that first half, going through the game, and we just didn't get the points for the pressure that we had on Northampton. Whereas, you know, they got 3 simple penalties, and suddenly they're 9-0 up, 9-3 up, and so we didn't get the rewards for the pressure we put on Northampton, but we did do some things poorly as well. So,
does the Sale team reflect Steve Diamond, do you think? Because he was a very hard-nosed, competitive player, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know Steve quite well, and I actually played against him, but I was coached by him, and he is very tough. And the Sale team are a very good side. They're competitive. They're very tough. You know, they never give in. They never, you know, if they lose, they never get beaten heavily. And when you've got somebody like Cipriani pulling the strings, you just never know. You know, last year when we played them, I think it was the second game, you know, some of his individual brilliance, I think, created them 3 tries, I think it was, by himself. And so they are a good side, very good side, and we're very conscious of that. But, you know, for all the sort of little things that maybe not gone our way, and the results not quite going our way at the moment, we're a good side as well. So we know that, and we're working really, really hard to make sure that, as I said, we go and dominate Sale on Friday, and you know, get a bit of cheer at Kingsholm.